Good morning, traders. Today is May 20th, 9 o'clock in the morning. This is the professor. What a week it's been. Crazy volatility. Been a great week for me trading wise. Wanted to do a video this morning, not so much on live trading, but more on how I set my target lines on the cloud. I'm getting a lot of questions on that. I don't like giving you step-by-step instructions because there's a lot of other factors that require experience that go into this, but I just kind of want to give you an overview on how I use the cloud, what I look for, and kind of how I set the targets. And hopefully, I'll be able to explain how I do that in an effective manner. So first things first, please subscribe to this video, comment on this video, like the video. Without any of that stuff, there's no point in doing these. Again, this is for, trades are your own. It's not investment advice. Hopefully you learn something out of it. You can apply it to your own trading style. People ask me all the time, Professor, what is the, where is the SPY going today? Is it going to go down? Where is it ending up? You need to form your own opinions. You need to be able to do that yourself. You will never become a successful trader if you're just blindly following somebody, or if you are, if you don't understand yourself, what you are doing, what you believe in, what your conviction is. That's what it takes, in my opinion. Anyway, here in front of us, we have a SPY chart. It's we'll start with the weekly. Let me erase all of these lines. This is a weekly chart. Just want to go over it real quick. Again, this is if you go back here about, 10 years or so, actually about right there. We've had right here, we've gone through the cloud. Back on May 22nd, that Friday, we went through it, and we just finally penetrated through the cloud on May 6th. The last 5 times we've gone through the cloud here, we've penetrated all the way through pretty significantly. I think there's still definitely some downside left. We'll definitely have some volatile short covering. Everyone's calling for a recession, which also could lead to a bounce if everyone's calling for one, or we could have a bounce where that just gets faded, that gets shorted. That's what I'm looking for. But anyway, the last time we had a significant breakthrough on the cloud was in this area. You can see we broke through, it turned and actually tested the top of the cloud, and then wham, I mean, it just sold off. That was in 07, 08 credit crisis. Here, you can see we've broken through it. This was my mark. This flat line right here has been my mark for a long time, this 388 mark. Then we had a bounce back up, just like back in 08, back up to the top of the cloud, testing it, that 411 area. And now I expect a downturn. And really, we could go, some levels we could go to are this 350 area. And I'll show you how I come up with this. So anyway, let me delete that. So what I do every morning, my morning rituals, I open this up. I go into the daily cloud, which is right here. The first thing that I like to do is I like to draw, basically, since we're kind of near a low, is draw yesterday's low. So not using, or the day before yesterday's candle. This is yesterday's candle, but what I like to do is draw, some people call it an algo line. I'm not an expert in that. I leave that up to Dave and Harry, who are experts in that. So I could just call it a trend line for fear I'm not doing it correctly, but this seems to work for me. So basically I draw, I'm going to go, I'm not going to use this wick because I'm going to try to catch this third candle. So I'm going to draw it like this. I'm going to call this my trend line, my algo line, whatever you call it. So that's my upward sloping one. A break of this, I would look to kind of short, but I just want to have this up, and then I may draw another one. Let's see here if there is one that may come into play. I guess this one could if I draw it from here to the top of this candle and down. So for now, I'll leave it like that. I don't see anything a little flatter. Maybe here. I could also go right there, but I kind of like this one, I think, the best. Okay, so we'll go right there. Okay, just in case it breaks above it or below it. These are too good to have. So the first thing I do is here I am on on a daily chart. As you can see, we are trading roughly at 393.27. I guess that's where we closed yesterday, or there might be current live. I don't think I'm in. When I have the cloud up, I don't like to have my pre-market on at all. I mean, I turn it on just to kind of see what the market is doing in the morning. Right now, we're gapping up a little bit, but I do not like to, as I'm trading throughout the day, I turn it off. I do not like the data of the pre-market. So anyway, since there is nothing to the right of the cloud here, I have to use the left side, which is way over here. And what I'm looking for is, see how over here there's these flat lines. Someone on Reddit actually made a really good post, and I can't recall who did it, who answered a question that someone was asking me, but he posted on it uh, how the cloud works and what the flat lines mean. And he did a really good job with it. And I wish I could, I'll have to look back at it, but he's right in what these flat lines mean right here. The longer a flat line we have, the more historic support and resistance that line offers. You can see there's some tiny ones here, but the longer that line is, the more likely it is to either be a support level or a stronger support level or stronger resistance level. Now, obviously, when you're drawing these lines or setting these targets, if I call them targets on the cloud, the longer time frames like the D1 and the 1 hour and the 4 hour are obviously more effective compared to a 5 minute or a 1 minute or a 30 minute even. But I want to go through it with you on how the different time frames work, because they are 5 minute and 30 minute are very effective for scalping trades, and hopefully I can explain it in a manner that makes sense. So here's what I do. The first thing I do is I go over here to the left. I'm in the daily chart. I start with the weekly actually. I look here. I know that right here is my long term is 388. I don't want to draw too many lines today. Right here at 388.29 is the support level. I'm looking for it to break that. We've been bouncing off this level quite a bit. I know we probably traded down a little bit lower than that to like right here, like 385. But this 388 level is like a line in the sand. If we trade below that level with volume, then I'm looking for the market to head down to this level. This is the next level to me, kind of. It's not completely flat, but it's a nice, a little shorter line than this one. So this 362.47 would be my next level, and then below that is that 350 level, and even below that you have a 308 level, which and then even below that, which is the long flat line, that's that 288.99 level. I call that doomsday. That's see right here how we have all these big flat levels. Can certainly happen. What would be the catalyst for that to happen? Obviously, a major recession that's much worse than expected. It could be a one-day event, or a nuclear warhead goes off. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, but you really need to be aware of these flat levels. I'm not saying it's going to trade down here. It could easily reverse and go back up through the cloud, or we could retest this cloud. As you can see up here where it's real thin, it's kind of looks like almost a transition right here in this area where my crosshairs are. I also look for those. Those are also good targets where I could go up to back to that 440.90, which would actually be pretty bullish because that would take us through the daily cloud, which I'll show you here in a minute. So anyway, so here we're back on the daily cloud. So I'm not going to draw the weekly lines. I don't want to draw too many lines because then your chart gets too cluttered. But I am here on the daily, so I'm going to go ahead and set these lines here. So I'm going to set one here on this. If you can see my little round circle on the left hand of the screen, I'm going to set it right here on that flat part. I'm going to actually edit my line here. I don't want it wide. I'm going to call my daily lines yellow. I'm going to make them a little bit smaller so they don't clutter my chart. And it kind of, now this is where it becomes an art. You kind of want to put it right against it. So I got about 403.35. Now it could be 403.25 or 403.55. It's not an exact science, but it kind of gives me a ballpark. And then the next one that I have that's flat is, hold on. Let me get rid of that. Sorry. I'm going to go into edit. I use TC2000 for my charting. I think it's one of the best charting out there. I initially got it for stocks. It's super fast, much better and much easier to use than Thinkorswim. I do trade in Thinkorswim because I have, all my accounts there, and just something that I've been using since it was Scottrade. So I have a very good relationship with him. I've been using them a long time. They give me very good. I get very good perks with them just because I've been with them for so long, and obviously I probably made them a shitload of money over the time when commissions and especially with futures trading as well. So I'm going to set that as my default, and then my next line is here. Oh, I got to go into my line right there. So I could just very quickly draw my lines. I could have one here, but my lines will start to clutter a little bit. And these are all trading above right now. So since we're trading around 390, 392, I'm going to use this line here. Okay, oops. Actually, let me do that again. So right there, which is 394.68. That is going to be a line of, that's going to be my first line, and I'm going to move this one down actually to this level since it's above. And if this breaks this 396.33, then I'll move my line up to 397.23. So right now I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'll leave this one here like that. I'm going to leave that one alone up here, which is that 403. Well, I'll just put it there for right now. But you can see that the lines can get cluttered very quickly. Now to the downside of where we are, right here where the cloud is the thinnest, this area here, you can see these are what I call kind of transition areas. I like these areas as levels that could be possible, where the stock could possibly trade to. Again, you'll notice here we are again at that 387.66 mark, which matches the weekly because it's a small transition area. So I'll leave this one here too. I want to make this one red only because it's trading below the number right now, and I'm just going to use that as a mark. So what I'm looking for is I'm going to move it up just slightly to right there. Just I want to catch this little knob. So I'm going to call that 388. I'm going to call it 388 actually. 388.08. Okay, I'm happy with that. So if we trade below this number, which is also a break, as you can see right here, kind of below my yesterday's what I call the algo line, if you will. I can also have another algo line that's been in existence since a couple of days ago, which would be kind of this line right here. But right now I'm going to use this. Hold on here. So I'm going to catch this point. I'm going to catch kind of the bottom of the candle. I was hoping to catch the bottom of this, but that's close enough. So you can see right here, if we break through the wide algo line, because right now we're going to be trading above it. If we break down below it, that's my alert. I'll set an alert, by the way. I can just click here, set an alert for the day. If that breaks, that tells me, okay, hey guys, time to go short. But I want a confirmation of the price below 388.08. I mean, I could definitely go to a 5-minute chart and scalp it. But if I'm only looking at the daily chart, and I'm looking for a little bit longer time horizon or a little bit more points, let's say I buy, I don't know, let's say I have a $10,000 account and I only buy 2 MES contracts, they move, 2 MES contracts is $10 a point. 10 10 points is basically equal to 1 point in the SPI. So let's say that right now we're trading at 393.39. For me to go short, the SPY has to go to 388 or below. So that's roughly, I don't know, 5.5 points, which is 50 SPY points. So from a daily perspective, I won't even take the trade till my futures have moved down 50 points below this mark to 388, because I know this is a line in the sand. When it starts trading below this algo line, I expect the stock to jump back off this level. But if it breaks, I think it can really go down, and you want to catch that. Now, to catch that, you want comfort. It's done it a couple times before. You really want confirmation. You want to see volume on a shorter time frame as we go through that. You want to see several candles print below that before you truly take the trade. You don't want to wait for the trade to dip below 388.07 or oh 06 and then take the trade, because again, it can easily reverse. You want to wait for confirmation is key. You also need to have a bias that you're short, that your conviction says, all right, I really think we're going to go down to 345. That helps your trade immensely. It's easy to short at 388 when the stock was at 393 today, because in your head you're thinking, well, in my mind, we're going down to 345. Now, you want to make sure that you're always asking yourself, is my conviction still correct? Is my bias still correct? Am I getting confirmation from the market? Because again, you don't want to get stuck in a trade where you're buying, where let's say SPY opens up at 385 and you're like, oh my God, it's no volume, I'm going to short that, and you do, and the market immediately reverses because yesterday it hit 385 and it bounced back up, and let's say your timing is awful, and boom, the market reverses and goes up 10 points, and in your head saying, well, I'm going to stick with the trade because my conviction is that we're going to go down to 345. You're going to be wrong at times. There are times where the market is telling you need to get out, and you have to look at it this way. You have to say, okay, I was wrong on this trade. This is where my risk level ends. I'm going to take my loss and I'm going to re-enter my short at a better level. The worst thing a trader can do is chase the market, where they go long when they see the market going up. As soon as they get in, the market turns around and goes down. They reverse their trade again by going short. Then the market reverses again. They just keep chasing it, and before you know it, their account is blown. That happens to every novice trader. It happens so often. You have to change your mindset. You have to say, okay, on a bounce to a certain level, I'm going to short that bounce because my conviction is short, and vice versa. I'm going to go long when it hits a certain level. That's how you make money in this market. Now, in a trend days like we had yesterday, it was easy to call every target hit, and it was easy to scalp because there were no bounces. And when there were, they were being faded immediately, and you just get the feel for it. It's kind of I don't know, it becomes it kind of comes like a paint. I don't know, I don't want to say a painting, but it becomes like a piece of art. You're looking at it. It's like the drawing is happening in front of you. You're telling yourself, okay, that this level is going to get hit right here at 394.68. I don't think it's going to go there. My conviction is down. People are buying because they have fear of missing out. So there's going to be some short covering right to this level, which happened yesterday. We went right to this level here. See, we went right up to this level here, shorted, and then we bounced back down to that kind of algo line level, and you can just trade that. But I'm going to show you on the 5-minute chart. Get too much off on a rant, so hopefully I'm making sense. So we'll see. I'm not going to listen back to this video, so I'm just going to pray that that it all makes sense. Anyway, and if it doesn't, I'll try to get better and try to explain it a little bit more clear. So let's get back to the kind of the drawing. So right now on the daily, we have 394.68 as our upper target right now. If it breaks through that, then we have 396.33. If it breaks through that, 397.39 on the daily. It breaks through that, we have 403.12. And you can kind of see over here on the left-hand side, once it breaks through this 397, I would expect it to actually go pretty quick to 403.12 on a daily basis. What that means is, there may be some up and downs, and it may take a few days. D1 chart has a longer time frame, so you got to look at it on not on a 5 minute. It's not going to go in 5 minutes from 397 to 403. It may take a day, it may take 2 days, it may take longer. But the longer the time frame, the longer things may happen. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. I just want you to be aware of it. So right now, my low side is 388.08. If that breaks, then my next target would be right here to this next flat part right here, which is basically 383.31. After that, there's some little ones right here, all in between. So it may take 1, 2, 3, 4. It may take a week or so, but then the next level is 378.59 and so forth. 370, and then if it breaks through 366.75, I think we'll have a very quick drop to my ultimate level, which is going to be in the 350 range, or right here, that 342. I will draw that line just to kind of leave it on here. This right here, this 340 level. This is where I think that we may head this summer. If a lot of things need to happen, obviously, we need to have a recession or so-called recession. How bad is the recession? There's some good things about a recession, guys. I know people are freaking out about higher interest rates and all that. Interest rate. I come from the real estate world. There's still a historic lows in interest rates. We've been spoiled with free money, and that's why the market is selling off, because free money is going away. We had a humongous opportunity with free money these last 8, 10 years that are going away, that a lot of people are not used to, or they forgot what it was like. So now you have to readjust. That's not the end of the world. The nice thing about if we do go through a recession, and then a new basis will be set, yes, we'll have some pain initially, but we kind of wait that out, and then when you see that catalyst, say, okay, things are about to get better, we're going to have a huge opportunity in the marketplace. It'll be a huge opportunity for young people to max out their 401ks, their IRAs, or for people to make some really good money on the long side. Just like I think there's an opportunity. It's harder to make money on the short side because people are deathly afraid of when that bounce is going to happen, and they have such fear of missing out. It's completely a mental thing in their heads. But the same thing can happen to the upside. So it's just that the upside, it has infinity potential, and the downside has only potential to zero. It's how our brains are wired. It's very interesting. There's some good books out there regarding mental trading that I would suggest you read. I can't think of them at the top of my head, but anytime that you can think about the mental aspect of trading and get your mental head right, it's a huge bonus. Trading is a lot like gambling. Let's not screw around with it and call it something different. It definitely is. I mean, it's especially day trading. You're buying something that you think you have an edge on, and you do the same thing in blackjack. You need a little bit of luck. You need to be able to walk away at the right time, so that's kind of lucky. Yes, you have a lot more information in stock trading than you do in per se gambling at a casino, but there's definitely parallels. That's why I think poker players or people that are able to not have an emotional attachment to money make the best type of trader. You know, I may have $100,000 in the market, but if I don't give a crap about my $100,000, I'm going to do a lot better in the market because I'm able to take on more risk. I'm able to believe more in my conviction than vice versa, or with somebody that may have $5,000 in the market, but it's all their life savings, and if they lose $300 of it, they can't sleep. Those guys will never make it. You can talk yourself silly, you can fool yourself, you will not make it. If you are in the market right now and you are fooling and you think that I'll make it back, stop what you're doing right now. You're just fooling yourself, in my opinion. You're going to end up losing everything. Go educate yourself, paper trade, go do what Harry does. Start with one share, one share. Take all the risk out. You will be amazed how much better your trading gets when you take out the emotional attachment. Find out what I call the non-emotional attachment is for you, and your trading will change. Anyway, I don't want to make this too long, so I got to keep going. I'm already at Holy crap, I'm already at 24 minutes. I'm going to try to do this last couple of minutes fast. Anyway, so here we are. This is my daily chart. Now I'm going to go into my 5-minute chart real quick because the market's getting ready to open. So here you see the daily. Oh, do I have my weekly on? So I'm going to turn that off. And you can see we're almost trading. We've been trading all morning against this 394.68. See how we bounced up against it? So that's a good line in the sand. And see how this red line here, down here, we've also been testing that 388 level. So right there, without knowing what the pre-market did, you can kind of already see what it is. So if it trades above here, then you can look for 396.33 as a possible short. Or same thing here. Let me turn this off. Edit chart property. Never. There you go. All right, so we're trading up here right now. Here again on the 5 minutes, we're going to be trading above it. You can set your lines. So I can set the top of the cloud, which is here. So I can go in here, Hold on, edit. I'm going to use different, let's just use, I might just use blue for that one. Set as default. So the reason why I'm setting here is this line, this long line here on the 5-minute cloud to the left there. And then once the price action is below the cloud, then you can start using the bottom of the cloud and the top of the cloud in the time frame that it's in. So this morning, so I'm going to set that one because we're going to be trading above the cloud. I'm going to use my daily because there's one right here I could use for 5 minutes, but I don't see the point in it. I could move this, leave it here. I could also move it to this area here. But for right now, I'm going to leave that. Then I'm also use the bottom of this 5-minute cloud, which is 390.19, to set another line right there. Okay. So right now we're going to open up around this level, this 397.67 line. If we start trading, I expect we're going to trade between 394.68 and 392.13. But if this 392.13 breaks, I could choose to scalp a trade from 392.13 to 390.26. It just depends on the price action. It depends on what's going on, and so forth. So here's my 5-minute marks, and then go in a 15-minute cloud. Here's the 15-minute cloud. You have a top right here, right above this 397.39 number. We're going to open up in the cloud right around this level right here. So there's a good chance that we could trade up to this 396 level to the upside, or even 397.39. But you can see that my 5-minute cloud right here actually matches the 15-minute bottom. So you can see how, and here the cloud is on the right, so I'm not using any of these lines. We have a huge flat line right here on the 15-minute. So since we are opening up in the 15-minute cloud, I'm probably going to use the 15-minute cloud to trade initially. I like trading the chart where we're in the cloud of, so I can use the top of the cloud or the bottom of the cloud as kind of targets. And as I wait for the market to open, I will start drawing some trend lines, or channel lines as I call them. And the way I do that, let me just go into a quick little thing on that, is like let's say I take the last 10 bars and I draw a trend line like this, trend line, and I just create a parallel line, and I create a parallel line. And you'll find that these things will bounce right here between these lines, so you can trade them. Here you got the bottom, so that's long, and you kind of go short. Here the market's opening up, so we can kind of see what's happening for a minute. So we're opening up like right actually on the bottom of this is the 15-minute chart. We open right here on the bottom of this 15-minute cloud, so we have to kind of penetrate through it. So we may sell off. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to take some time. So we can see if we're going to challenge this line right here at 392, which I may take that trade. But we really have to penetrate through. So we'll go on see what that looks like on the 5-minute. So here's that blue line on the 15-minute. On the 5-minute, it's right here. So if it breaks through this 5-minute, then you may have a trade all the way here to this 390, which is the top of the cloud. This is the top of the cloud in the future, bottom of the cloud, or the top of the cloud right here in this kind of time frame. I'm going to get rid of these channels because they are not While we wait for that to kind of go, I want to show you one more thing. I think that's just a bad print right here. You go into the 30-minute cloud, and here again, this is the bottom of the cloud, kind of 396.33 level, so you can adjust these as needed depending on what cloud you're in. Like you can use this long time frame here if you're in this chart. So the closer we get to this level, then you can adjust the higher time frames accordingly. And then if it breaks through the 30-minute cloud up here, you may go to the hour, see where we are at the hour. Here in the hour, we have a transition right here, 400. So you may look at that level. It just depends where we are. But right now, we are between 392 and 394. I can go to a 1 minute, and I can use that. I can use the, here, I can use this area right here, which is the top of my current cloud, which is right where we're trading at right now, because right here is my closest top. My closest bottom right now is kind of this level here, this 391. So here, let me change the colors on it so that you have a better visual. Edit. Okay. Oops. Edit. Set as default. Kind of right in here. But right now we're trading above the 1 minute. So if this line breaks of 393.01 with volume, I can see, okay, do I have interest in taking that? Will it trade down here? Once it trades through that, it may break down to 390. So that's kind of what you just kind of wait for. Here on the 5 minute, we're above the cloud. So now I'm just looking for what area am I closest to the cloud? Well, right now it's this 15 minute, and we're right on the teeter. So we're in no man's land right now. So we just wait. We wait till we get some action that's really into the cloud that may challenge this 394.68. Or we wait to see if it drops below the cloud and challenges this 392. If it just stays here and just trends, we do nothing. We just sit on our hands. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea on how I draw trend lines. And as you go into higher time frames, you just add more lines, or you can delete lines. It's really pretty simple. See, right now we're challenging. We're just kind of in a time frame, and the way I draw the channels is, I could take this one. I mean, you want more. This is just a 1 minute, but I'm just giving you an example. You'd really want to have at least 4 or 5 of them, but you could draw something like this. There's your trend line, and then you just create a few parallel lines, and you use these along your lines. That's kind of how I do it. But this is not enough yet, and this is only in 1 minute. But all right, so now we've broken through the top of this kind of 1 minute cloud, and if this low right here breaks, that may be a short, or may bounce off this little 1 minute trend line that I just drew. Let's just see if it does. Kind of give you, see, it kind of bounce right up. It checked it, and it may check. So now you want to get confirmation to get through below this one. I don't like trading on a 1 minute, but I'm just giving you an example because that's where all the action is. Okay, see, on the 5 minute kind of broke through here, but I would want to really see, for me to be able to start taking a trade on this, I really want to see it below this 392.13 level. And on the daily, okay, that's too many lines now. So you can get into too many lines. But I drew a lot of them because I want to show you how I do it. So if I were to clear it all, I would erase them all like that. Then I would just kind of see where I am on the 50. Right now I'm trading in the 15 minute, right? You can say right here is this flat part would be my support. We're going to break down to it. So I would actually short that if it breaks through it on volume, which I'm not quite there on the volume, but I want to see the next candle really open up. So 392.48 on the 15 minutes, kind of my line in the sand. So in the next 15 minutes, if I'm below this number, then I may trade that, and then I'm looking for a target, and my target will be way here in the future. It's 390.49, and that also would match the bottom of the 5 minute cloud. See how that works? Pretty amazing. All right, guys, that's it for me. I don't want to make this is too long already. I'm sorry it's a long video. I hope you enjoy it. Please like it. Also, one thing, Trade Exchange. No, I talk about it quite a bit. Here it is. It's a super simple new service. You can make it as big or small on your desktop as possible. It gives you a ton of information, upgrades, downgrades, sweeps, what the hell is going on. I highly recommend it. It's normally $50 a month. It's made by traders for traders. There's a deal for 3 months for $99. Also, stockbeep.com, great little service, free. It kind of shows you some great stocks right now. Foot Locker is one of them that's showing up. Let's pull that one up real quick. You can kind of see here's the breakout. Let's look at it on the daily. Nice little charts right in the cloud. It's kind of in, it's in a gap actually. So you could actually, there's a couple places. See right here, this area of the cloud up here. You can say trade it right up to it and off of it. If it can break through that 33.88, probably have a good shot of it going up here to 35.87. It could break through that. On the downside, you're probably looking at, if I was trading this, I would set another mark right here, which I would 32.96. I mean 32.36. It could form a bull flag if it trades down to that, and then it has to go back up. So you need confirmation. Hope that makes sense. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, like, good video. Watch it all. Thank you.